Hello, everybody. The Army of Light Earth Division, boots on the ground. It's Shawna L. Francis. Today is Tuesday, September 19th, 2023. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining me for the weekly briefing. We're talking about the Ascension. We're talking about ETs, extraterrestrials, UAPs, and negative reptilian influence here on the planet. And of course, anything that the guides want me to bring through to everybody. I have to say, just right off the bat, I am not feeling well. I came so close to bagging this video for tonight and trying it again tomorrow. Upset stomach. I've had a headache off and on for the last 4 or 5 days. I got back from Mexico here on Thursday. Today's Tuesday. So, and it's been a lot colder here than when I left. Maybe that has something to do with it, the change of the seasons. I did see a chiropractor today. I've got some kinesio tape going on. Actually, it's for my shoulder. All of a sudden, my shoulder yesterday just kind of quit working. So I'm having a heck of a time and some pain in my neck. But I think I'll be feeling much better tomorrow. Food's not sitting well with me either this week. Just always, again, even it doesn't seem to matter what I eat or when I eat it, my stomach's getting upset. So, I don't know. It's so hard to tell what's going on with these kinds of symptoms. I'm just going to wait and see what happens. But so I'm a little fuzzy. My brain's not firing on all cylinders tonight. So please bear with me. So I did talk with Racer a little bit a few days ago about this galactic war that continues to rage on. And I have to say, I'm feeling pretty concerned about it, and I'm thinking about it quite a bit. I've been channeling the Galactic Federation of Light for 4 years now, and I consider these are our soul family, and many of you who watch this video and who are drawn to these frequencies are also Galactic Federation of Light. That's why we are the Army of Light on the Earth Division, the boots on the ground. Many of us, I believe, have aspects on these ships or have been sent by the Galactic Federation of Light. We have a common mission here, a common theme, being light bringers, way showers, light workers. Also, we've got this negative reptilian aspect that many of you, this resonates with you. So, this is, I think it's quite devastating in my very much human 3D mode, quite devastating to understand that this war is still happening. And I brought this up with Racer because Melchizedek has been pretty quiet. I think I've only channeled for the book twice this week. Plus, I've not been feeling all that well. But I'm still getting up and giving it a good shot. We're still doing energy work, but so there hasn't been a whole lot of actual channeling with Melchizedek. And I think I told you this last week as well. They just seem busy. So I do want to talk to you about what Racer had to say about the war. I also want to talk to you. I actually want to read to you what I channeled this morning for the book. It's a few paragraphs, and it's just going along with this theme here with the Ascension. And then also, Paul Selig on Saturday he did a workshop with Melchizedek for about 90 minutes. And for the first hour, he just channeled them. And the name of this was Ascension. So I really I love the consistency of kind of what's coming through me, what's coming through all of us here with our guides, what the GFLs had to say about the Ascension, Melchizedek talking about the Ascension in very tangible terms through Paul Selig and this workshop that he's done. So a lot of consistency, a lot of confirmation, a lot of validation. So I did get the transcript of that. I did join for that workshop on Saturday, and I want to read to you a few of the things that Melchizedek said about the Ascension. So that's where I'm at. How's everybody doing? A lot of the theme here recently is about change and about how rapid the changes are coming. And if you remember, Commander Ashtar came through a few weeks ago talking about, strap up your boots and hang on. This is going to be coming very quick and fast, and try to keep up. And so I think this is very much a reiteration of those kinds of themes. And last week we talked about how, some of us may be feeling really out of alignment with our lives in the current state that they are. I think that's part of it too. And just seeing around us a lot of, I'm seeing it, a lot of pain and suffering and confusion and maybe even panic, and being able to just be in your light, be that calm in the chaos, be that steady force. And it's not easy to do that. Okay, so anyway, I hope everybody's doing well and you're keeping up and you're doing the best you can here to ride the waves of the energy fields that are coming through, and making whatever changes you need to make in your world for peace and acceptance, joy and happiness if possible, so we can stay on top of this and keep up with the pace of change here. All right, team. All right, so I talked to Racer. Again, Racer was part of the Galactic Federation of Light. He has perished in that as in that body. He was embodied as an 8D Arcturian. He's now part of our collective guide team here, personal guide team. And I asked about this war. I'm just, what's going on here? I'd actually asked, hey, do you know what's going on with Melchizedek? And he's like, I really can't answer that. I'm sure they're fine and they'll be with you as soon as they can. I thought that was pretty funny. But I said, what about this war? What's happening here? And he says, Shawna, it's complicated. We've heard this word before. It's complicated. The war continues to drag on with both sides quite depleted, but neither willing to call it. It's been quite devastating to the Galactic Federation of Light and their allies, thousands of lives lost. They are continuing to regroup, reassess, create new plans in the hopes of a speedy end to this war. And then he continued here. The Negative Reptilians and their allies continue to fortify their ranks, add to their fleet. They seem to have an endless supply of firepower and physical infrastructure to continue their assaults. And there is a resolve on their part that remains infallible, even faced with such devastating losses on their end and the massive amounts of destruction. Losing is not an option for this species. These types of engagements do not scare them. The brutality they wage is very much a sport, and this keeps the momentum going with anguish and unrelenting attacks. Okay, so we've learned this about the Negative Reptilians. Extremely cunning, very smart, cold and calculating. They are unwavering with this. So, and losing is not an option. I've heard this so many times from our guides over the years. And I said, I'm so sorry, Racer. This just is awful that this is still happening at this level. I said, are we doing is there anybody that can come to the Galactic Federation of Light's side as an ally to help? Is there anything we can do to fortify our ranks? I said, I don't really know a whole lot about all the other organizations out there, but what else is being done? And he says here, Shawna, this is a complex and challenging situation unfolding. I don't believe it would serve your best interest or the interests of the constituents, you guys, to dig further into the details in terms of the Galactic Federation of Light, their allies, and the approach to battle that they are taking at this time. In terms of the repercussions for planet Earth and humanity, it is yet to be seen, dear one. We all watch, observing these moments. Nothing is predetermined. There is only potentiality, so we watch and we observe. We all agree this is a high-stakes situation with innumerable outcomes and possibilities. Yeah, so I had asked, what does this mean for humanity if this war continues to go in this way and the GFL is, depleted? What happens? And they're saying it's high stakes. It's a high stakes situation. We don't know what's going to happen, and we watch this from moment to moment. And I said, I'm like, well, it seems like would be very exposed without the help of the GFL. I said, but we'll never lose faith. We'll continue to fight alongside you. We'll continue to raise our frequencies and our vibration and hold the light. And he said, yes, Shawna, that is the best course of action for all of you. The light has already won in the grander scheme of this reality. And as mentioned previously, there will be many battles, many curves in the road, many hills, many valleys, as we make this journey together. Okay, so that's Racer. I forgot to mention last week that I did briefly see Mantid. So he is our praying mantis insectoid being who's also GFL. He looked great, radiant, glowing almost. And I thought about reaching out to Mantid this last week to get his take on the war, but I just thought he's probably in the middle of fighting it, where Racer is kind of out of that realm and into this new realm. So I decided not to bother him. But I did see Mantid and he looks great. He looks wonderful and he didn't have a whole lot to say. I think I actually came across him in the halls of Amenti. It was so good to see him. So good. All right, guys. I think I'm going to read a few things that came out of the Paul Selig Ascension workshop on Saturday. By the way, Paul has released his latest book called, I think it's The Age of Innocence. Oh my gosh. Anyway, this just dropped today. It just launched today. That's the 11th book by Melchizedek with Paul Selig. And according to Paul on Saturday, he said that they just wrapped up book 12. So it takes, several months to get it ready to release, but book 12. So in my wildest dreams, I would love to continue to channel books for Melchizedek. I just got to get through this first one, which, it's been challenging. There's been a lot of starts and stops here, and it mostly stopped in this last week or two. So I'm hoping everything's okay. I'm really having faith and trust here. Just everything's going as it needs to according to plan. All right, here's what they had to say about Ascension. A few paragraphs here, guys. The idea of Ascension must be addressed now because it's vastly misunderstood. This is how they started this talk off on Saturday. Your idea of escaping a reality or conjuring up a new one that's going to be without what you don't want and hold the properties that you think it should must be replaced by new awareness. They said here, what you are claiming is the alignment and energetic coherence with the monad, the higher self, or the divine self that comes into form and realizes itself through you. The divine within you, expressing as you, and hence claiming a world made new. I know that that's a mouthful, and it has taken me 4 years to really understand what the heck Melchizedek is trying to say through this. But what's so beautiful about the ascension that we're going through now, and according to the GFL, this has never been attempted before at this level. We remain in embodiment as we transition into this 5D reality. And this is all about unity. We're in a complete reality that is all about separation. And this is why we have so much suffering here. It's about fear and it's about separation. And then, of course, you throw in this whole idea that we've got the negative reptilians who are the master puppeteers behind the scenes, making sure that we are staying in fear and that we're staying at a low vibration at this density, and we're not really realizing who and what we are. So again, the divinity that we all are, every single person on this planet, nobody is excluded from this divinity, not one person. And then to realize this, to remember it, and to embody this, this is really what they're saying. And as their collective, this is how they describe the ascension. They said here, the discernment that's required now as humanity lifts toward the new is that discernment is required now because the old is beginning to fall away. Sorry, guys. And the challenge of these times is that you expect to maintain the old when the old will not be maintained. This is exactly what we've been talking about. Our reality that we know and have known is crumbling all around us. We are seeing this happen in real time. It cannot be maintained as these frequencies grow and as our consciousness raises. And again, they reiterate here, the transition humanity is undergoing will take some generations to fulfill. We're in it for the long haul, team. I wouldn't doubt if there's several of us that decide to come back once or twice or three times before it's all said and done to continue the work with the Ascension. I know that's not a popular thing to say, but this is what Melchizedek is talking about, and it resonates, even though it's so hard to hear. We're in it for the long haul, you know, and it's an honor. It's as hard as it is, but there's just not everybody can do this work. You know, we've talked about that. But the requirement has been made. You cannot war as you have. You cannot starve your neighbors as you have. You cannot lift one above the next, seek to punish them while exalting the other. These are all systems of control that you have been completely in party to. You know, even if we don't like it, even if we can, you know, watch the news or see something happening across the globe, we may say, well, that's wrong. But on some level, everybody on the planet is in accordance, is in vibration, in resonance with what's going on here. And this is going to have to stop, you know, and it is stopping. We're at the beginning phases of this. They said here, the denial of the inherent divine is the only real challenge that humanity faces. Everything else that you could describe is an aspect of that. Hunger or famine, prejudice, bigotry, these are all expressions of the denial of the divine. And when you know God in one, you will know God in all. This is not easy stuff. I mean, we come here completely forgetting that we are God, that we are source, that we are all unified here, that we're all one. We forget this, and for good reason. You know, this planet serves as a training ground for our souls. So we're, you know, being asked basically to, okay, yes, we understand that this planet, this is how this has been forever, and now it's changing. Who wants to come along this journey to the new? You know, they said a couple sentences about how rapid this is going, how quickly it's coming. The reality you see now is in such rapid transition that what you are actually seeing, if you can imagine this, is what was, because the new has not fully taken form. Talk about, you know, a mind trip here. The releasing of the old is not only occurring now, it's occurring at a level of quickness or rapidity that many of you are not accustomed to. Just like Ashtar said, this is just like, hang on, we're going, this is happening. It said, I thought this was really interesting, and this is the last few sentences that I'll read here from this, and then we'll get into the book. Humanity has decided as a whole that it will move beyond the old because you cannot abide in the old without destroying the planet you live in and on and everything that lives upon it. You have created the means for destruction, and you are already aware that if you do not temper this and move beyond the need for it, you will kill yourselves in one way or another. And they said, this is actually very good news. So they are, you know, trying to put a happy face on here, but it's like, humanity, you're either going to ascend here and move beyond this, or you're going to kill yourselves. So, you know, that was quite the choice that humanity made on some massive collective level here on the higher planes of existence. So here we are trying to make this happen. All right, so I'm going to switch gears here, and we'll go into what Melchizedek had to say just today for the book. All right, 438 words, no big deal here. And then we'll wrap it up. And it's just a nice, you know, they just sum it up quite nicely here where we're at. All right, resurrection. When an entire species resolves itself to resurrect beyond and above the lot that has been handed to it, the alchemy, the processes, and the transformation that is required to undertake such a feat cannot be overstated. You, my friends, are at the beginning of the point of no return. You've all said yes to this transformation, but have very little to no conscious recognition of this choice at this level you sit at today. So, as your guides, as your friends along this path, we do what we can to bring you the information necessary to continue along this journey with the gift of awareness, the gift of a budding consciousness of this fact. And this is exactly what they talked about with the negative reptilian stuff, all those horrific details, all these, the sacrifices, the adrenochrome, all of the bloodletting and everything. Raising the consciousness of this information is the first step to emancipating it. We have to do this. It's all done at the level of consciousness. It's not done outside of consciousness. This is where the alchemical process happens. It's at this level. It has to happen here. They said here, we will continue to be at this stage, dear ones, the building of conscious awareness of, indeed, a plane of existence in transformation, and we shall be here for some time. There is much to be done, dear ones, much work to be done to build the critical mass in the awareness so that humanity can get to the task at hand. All right, again, just to summarize this, we've got our work cut out for us. We are the crazy ones who are stepping outside of the old paradigms. We are the brave ones who are saying yes to the new, even with these blinders on, even with us not really knowing exactly what we're stepping into. We're feeling it deeply because we have pre-life agreements before we've come to this planet to do this work. These are lock and key moments with these guides, with these frequencies. They're like, oh, yes, this makes sense. This resonates. I feel this authentically in the soul of who and what I am. We are waking up to this. This is what the awakening is. And so they're saying it's going to be some time. We're going to take some time here, building awareness. Melchizedek, 12 books with Paul Selig, starting this book with me that's going to be mainly focused on the negative reptilian aspect of our existence. And all the pushback that this is going to get. We're still just so very on the fringes of what society knows and understands and is ready and capable of understanding, right? What they're ready for. So this is the tip of the spear. This is the beginning of, making room for the next. Also, I'll say too, Paul Selig mentioned with the channeling with Melchizedek that there will be new generations that will be born into the upper room. They will already be at that higher level of consciousness. They said this again on Saturday. So you've heard this, the kids are already high vibration. I mean, they're saying they're going to come in, they're already going to know this stuff. We are helping to really pave the way for them, for these next generations. It's really, it's critical what we're doing. As hard as it is, it's critical. All right, they said awareness is this first phase. And while this may prove to be challenging to those who resist stepping into a paradigm that's so unfamiliar, we'll say that this will not be the most difficult phase of this journey. The awareness phase will not be the most difficult, which, yeah, I can imagine, so I guess be thankful that we're here and we're able to be, witness to this part of the journey here. It's going to get harder is what they're saying. Yes, they said it is one of the most critical phases and that no subsequent phases can take place without this initial awareness phase. They've said this through me before. There is no forward movement of the evolutionary trajectory without first building the foundational knowledge and awareness of this situation that you find yourselves in today. This phase requires a massive leap of faith, a willingness to consider something as outlandish as a complete and total death and rebirth into what in essence will be a brand new species. As outlandish as this is, we're building awareness for this. There will be points of recognition between the old and the new, but fundamentally, all aspects of life as we know it will be made new, they said. All right. Behold, I make all things new. Repeat this if you'd like. Say this out loud for yourself. Behold, I make all things new. This is an invocation that will help you align in frequency to where this planet is headed, who this planet and her inhabitants are becoming. Behold, I make all things new. Inherent in this statement is that you create this new world. You help give birth and rise to this new state of being. You who, at this phase, brings much needed conscious awareness to the ascension, to this resurrection. Let it be so. Behold, I make all things new. Melchizedek, through Paul Selig, has brought forth all these intonations, all these things, these, you say these words, and these are part of the lock and key moments that help, get us to the next level in our awareness and our understanding. So that's just one of many mantras that they talk about. Behold, I make all things new. Powerful stuff. Okay, team, that was a lot. How's everybody doing? Please let me know. Please let me know how you're doing. On Friday, I came home on Thursday night. Friday morning, I met with a landowner, a landlord who has space that may be perfect for the mushroom grow business. Finally. So I'm going to start the process this week with the city, and there's so many hoops to jump through with this new thing. Psilocybin being made legal in Oregon for therapeutic use only. So I've been called to manufacture psilocybin, grow mushrooms, grow magic mushrooms. So I'm so excited about it. So it's been a long haul trying to find a space that will work and a landlord that will say yes, because it's still illegal from a federal perspective. So anyway, wish me luck on that, guys. I'll keep you posted. Okay, team, I love you so much. Thanks for being here. Thanks for all that you do. Thanks for supporting me, for being a part of this mission, for all your comments, your subscriptions to this channel, for spreading the light that you do. I love you guys. I'll see you all next week. Mwah.